I have always prioritized happiness, whether that's choosing a school that doesn't look great on paper, but it made me feel like I was home, or choosing the person I want to spend the rest of my life with. And he's a Bahamian man, so it is out of the norm within my Indian culture. All my life decisions have always prioritized, does it make me happy? Whether it makes other people uncomfortable or not, that is none of my business. But but when it came to my body, I fell into the toxic diet culture. And this all started in 2019, COVID. I have always been, majority of my life, I was overweight. And I woke up one day and I was like, you know what? I'm going to lose weight. I want to get healthy. During COVID time, I was doing HIIT workouts, I was eating healthy, and I was doing all the right things. And I didn't listen to anybody. I just did what I wanted to do, and that was just eating healthy and working out, doing YouTube workouts. I lost a good amount of weight, like 50 pounds, and I did it in like 6 to 7 months, and it was very healthy. It wasn't an extreme, it was not an extreme way of losing the weight at all. But when things started to go downhill is when I did lose the weight, and then I started to get onto the social media side of the diet culture and like the fitness industry, and just seeing like a bunch of influencers and everything and telling you, do this to like lose this weight, do that to lose that weight. And you can always get tighter, you can always tighten up. And I just like kind of lost sight of going from wanting to be healthy to I want to look like this. So when that shift went from wanting to be healthy to want to look like this, that's when everything went downhill. So when I started to want to look a certain way, it was weird. I actually gained like 10 to 20 pounds back because I was following people and having the wrong mindset. And when I was in this toxic mindset for the longest. This was around like 3 years, and I was so fed up with it. I was like, this was around like 2020 to like 2023, I'd say, or 2 years, 2021 to 2023. Or sorry, can't get the years right. But anyways, it was around 2 to 3 years where I was having this unhealthy mindset where I just couldn't like be happy in working out. I would try to gaslight myself like, no, this is what you need to do in order to look like this. But I sat down one day and I was like, you know what? Like, I literally can't keep this up. And next thing you know, Hyrox comes my way. And I'm not an advocate for Hyrox. Like, literally, like, this is just me being raw, sharing my experience. And I'm so grateful because when Hyrox came into my life, I genuinely, like, I feel like I'm now in a much healthier mindset around just fitness. I now feel like I'm an advanced version of I want to be healthy. Now I'm like, I want to train like an athlete. Now you are going, for people that never did a sport in high school, I was just a dancer. Dancing is sport, yes, but it's not like, rough, like in the fields, like soccer, basketball, or anything. So that was always my biggest regret. And Hyrox came my way, and I'm like, oh my God, like, I love this. I love that I get to, this is my sport, and I get to challenge myself, and I'm my own competition. So I started training for that, and I genuinely was so happy. My mindset around food, around working out, around the gym, like, it just became so much healthier. Like, food is fuel, and I work out because I want to perform better. I want to improve like my time. And just like when I got to the point of when I got to this point where I'm here right now, I'm like looking back, I'm like, wow, I wish I went from when I first lost all the weight, like going from healthy to wanting to become an athlete. But I never like trained like an athlete because I was never really into sports. So I had that like ugly time of wanting to look a certain way. And just like now that I've gone into Hyrox, and like now I'm about to do my third hopefully if I get the tickets, I get to do my third competition. And it's just so rewarding of how you get to a point, how you, when you are actually training like an athlete, when you are training with purpose and not just for aesthetics, it's a whole different ball game. Like you aren't, your confidence improves because you don't care about how you look. You're not insecure anymore because you genuinely are working towards something that isn't aesthetic. And it's just like it's like a domino effect. Genuinely, when you work out, when you want to work out and you want to look a certain way, you are going to become insecure because you haven't lost that part of, you haven't lost that fat in that certain part of your body, and you don't know what you're doing, so you're going to change it up, and then you never have the momentum, so of course nothing's going to change. And and then also suddenly you are like, carbs are my enemy, can't eat carbs, can't eat this, can't eat that. You have a horrible relationship with food. Food is never the enemy. Like genuinely, it's just all about, you just have to, as long as you eat healthy, as long as you do the 80-20 rule, you're good. Because at the end of the day, if you aren't seeing the results, it's really not that difficult to figure out what is going on as long as you're true to yourself. And my problem was I was never sticking with one plan because I wasn't happy with seeing results. So I'd always change up my plans. And then I would never stick with the 80-20 rule. And I was just always like stressed because I was like, I'm not losing this weight. Why is this not happening? And it was just literally like it was a ugly cycle that happened every other month, and it was exhausting. And I'm just so grateful that Hyrox came into my life. And I don't know if anyone out there that can resonate with me, that understands where I'm coming from. If you are, I would love for you to comment down, because it's so nice to be able to be in your 20s and you're like in a sport for yourself, you're competing, you feel like so strong, and you're in such a healthy, strong mindset. Literally, like, it gets to a point where people will compliment you on how you look. A few years ago, or like last year, before I started training for Hyrox, someone were to compliment me, I would literally not stop thinking about that. I'd be like, oh my God, they complimented me. Like, I don't have to eat healthy anymore. Like, I was literally seeking for external validation without even realizing it. Like, genuinely, when you go for aesthetics, you are seeking validation from other people. And that's so toxic. That is not okay. You're not supposed to be doing that. That's literally, that completely defeats the purpose of working out for yourself. If you were doing aesthetics, you were working out for other people, period. Like, point blank, period. But when you're working out with purpose for performance, you're genuinely working out for yourself. And you know your mind has shifted from aesthetics to performance when people compliment you and you just say thank you and move on with your day. And you still stick to the plan. Because you aren't going for external validation anymore. Your validation is only from yourself. That's huge for me. I'm the oldest kid. I'm the oldest daughter. And for everyone that's the oldest daughter, y'all know that you become a people pleaser because that's just a trait that you build due to like the family dynamics. And I've always wanted validation from other people. And I've also, as you know, I was always overweight. So I was insecure and everything. So getting that external validation was unhealthy. It wasn't good for me. I went from like healthy to like not caring what the people thought because I was healthy, to doing aesthetics, working out for aesthetics, caring about external validation, got into an unhealthy mindset, was not happy at all. Now, I feel like I'm free. I feel like I'm working out with purpose, and I can take, when my body needs a break from the intense workouts, I can give my body the break. It's not about earning it, it's that my body genuinely needs it, and that's okay. And I'll be honest, like when I, like 2 years ago, if you were to tell me like, Ashurya, you can't work out for a month because you have a back injury, and I'm just recovering from a flare up, and I gave my body like a month break. I'm like just getting back into working out for my next race. And if you were to tell me that, I would have freaked out. Like, no, I'm gonna lose all this weight. I'm gonna gain all this weight. Sorry. I'm gonna gain all this weight. I'm gonna get back into unhealthy habits. And that's just like, it's so unfair it's so unfair to myself for me to think that way. Because when your body needs a break, you need to give it that. And I'm just so grateful that I'm able to listen to my body, and I'm able to give it what it needs. And that bleeds into everything in life. So where I'm going with this is that I'm a lot more content with everything that has to do with fitness, because I'm doing something that makes me happy. Again, like, all the decisions in my life have always come down to one thing. Am I happy? Is this decision making me happy? Because one of my core values is happiness. I've always been someone that valued it. I genuinely think the purpose of life is being happy, because what is life at the end of the day if you are making decisions that don't make you happy? And of course, like, happiness doesn't, I feel like people think that you have to, if you're happy, you're not working hard. I feel like that's very toxic mindset. And I think, like, when it comes to understanding what makes you happy, it's also understanding that just because I'm happy doesn't mean I'm not working hard. Being happy, genuinely, it matters to you what that means, but to me, what it means is that I'm very content with my decisions, and I'm making this decision for myself, because I know it's for myself, because it makes other people uncomfortable. You know you're making the right decision when you are happy and you're making other people uncomfortable. If you are happy and you make other people comfortable, great. But majority of the times, if you make a decision that makes you genuinely happy, other people are going to be uncomfortable, and you have to be okay with that. Anyways, yeah, I just wanted to share my experience. If anyone out there that has the same experience, please comment down below. I'd love to hear from y'all. All right, I'll see you on the next video. Bye.